Okay, that one's not working. We're going to just switch to this one. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. So we're going to just bring our arms up over our head, and we're just going to kind of lean back, looking over. I'm sorry, looking up. And then we're going to come back, and then go side, crescent moon, back to the center, crescent moon. Bring our hands down, and then we're just going to go one direction, and then look over our shoulder the other direction. Then we're going to look down, and then bring our arms back up and do that whole sequence again. And then back to the center, and then crescent moon. Back to the center, crescent moon. Back to the center, bring our hands down, looking to the right, center, looking to the left, center, and back up. We're just going to do this just a few times, nice and gentle. Oops. Relaxing just into the moment. Oh! Drive by. We were just talking about, like, I didn't know if you were going to make it because it's such a beautiful day, and just see the back, which is the next hole. Last time of this sequence. Now here we're going to just go down and up and then side and up, looking to the side, then roll around to the other side and go side, up, down to the center and up, side, up, and then roll around to the other side and then side, up, center, up, side, up, and then roll to the other side, side, up, center, up, side, up, and roll to the other side. And then we're going to just do ear to shoulder, and then back up, ear to shoulder, back up. We're just going to do this 3 times. Ear to shoulder, ear. And now we're going to add our hand. So we're going to bring our hand up. We're going to add one hand up, and we're just going to bring that hand out to the side and come up, and then switch. Take a little bit deeper stretch. And we're just going to do this a few times. And then relax, bring our arms down. We're going to go in and touch, and then out to the back. In and touch, and then out the back. In and in, out. And then relaxing our arms down, we're going to go up into mountain, and then we're going to just go into a barred pose. You may need to bend your knees a little. Then you're just going to drop your hands down, walk over to the right, then walk over to the left, come back into the center, and then slowly roll back up with the hands up. And then going back into flat back, we're going to just do this a few times. The hands down, going to the right, and going to the left, back to the center, come all the way. And just repeat that sequence, relaxing into each pose. You may want to hold it for a few seconds. Come back up. Good, you got 2 more times. Last time. Come all the way up and relax your arms down. All right, now we're stepping out into triangle. Bringing your arms out into triangle. And once again, we're going to just bring our right arm down to our left. Then we're going to bring our left to our right. And then we're going to just bend, putting the right to the right side, and then bend for the left to be the left. Then we're going back up into triangle, the right to the left, left to the right, then right and bend to the lunge, then left bend to the lunge. Then back to the center, right to left, left to right, right knee bent, lunging, left knee lunging. And we're just going to do that pattern a few times. Nice and good stretch. And then back into the center, just relaxing into the center. Bringing your arms up a little bit so they're flat on the floor. And you're just going to roll up on your heels and then push back. Up, back, up, and 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 back, up and back. And then coming into the center, just bending your knees down and going to a nice deep squat. Just pull that position. Bring your arms out a little and press into your inner knees if you need to. And then coming up into flat back. You're just going to slide to the right with your body on the top. Hold that and then slide to the left. Once again, to the right, to the left, back to the center, and roll all the way up, bringing your arms with you, and salute the sun. And relax down. All right. Bringing our legs up, we're going into Egyptian chair. So bring your arms up, bring your hands down, make sure your knees are not over your feet. We're just going to relax into this position. Just hold this for a few seconds. Breathing in and out. And then we're going to just slowly go into the forward bend again. Still in the Egyptian chair. Should feel a nice good stretch. Relaxing into that. And then dropping to the floor. Once again, going into a deep squat this time. Holding that deep squat. And then pushing up, all the way up. And just standing. We're going to do that once again. Going into Egyptian. Holding that pose for a few seconds. Breathing in and out. Going into the forward fold. Holding that same position. And then bringing those hands down and going into that deep squat. And rolling all the way back up. Okay, now we're going into Egyptian again. Bringing the hands up, going into Egyptian, but this time we're going to bring one leg up and we're going to just cross it over. And if you can, you're going to go into Egyptian leg. And relax out. Going into Egyptian chair again. We're going to switch over, bring the other leg over. Again, going into the legs, eagle legs. And out. All right, we're going to do that one more time. Going into Egyptian. Lifting one leg up. Wrapping it around. And coming out. Egyptian chair. Switching to the other side. And relax out. All right, stepping into triangle. We're going to turn our foot out so it's at an angle. And going into warrior one. Then we're going to do warrior 2. Looking over your shoulder, looking at your head. Then you're going to arch back and look up at your hand that's in the sky. Bring the other hand up and go back into warrior 1. Warrior 2. Looking over your hand. Arch back. And into warrior 1. In warrior 1, you're going to bring the arms down, going into the low lunge. Holding that pose, stretching that body, bringing that foot that's in the front to the back, going into downward dog, pushing into those legs. Nice, good stretch. Gonna hold this pose for a few minutes, so just breathe in, breathe out if you need to. You can walk your feet in the back, or you can just press into them. You're just gonna hold this for a few minutes, get a nice, good stretch. Breathing in and out, relaxing, releasing all the pressure and stress from the day. Breathing in. And then when you're ready, you're going to put the other leg in the front. The one that you're not used so far. I'm going to hold this, lunge, and then come up into warrior 1. Same sequence, warrior 2, over your hand, and then arch back, looking up at the hand that's in the sky. Coming up into warrior 1. Warrior 2. Arch back, looking up at your hand. And back into warrior 1. And step up. Okay. You may need to move back. All right, you bring your arms up. Bring your legs out a little bit. We're going to go into the forward fold, this time with our legs straight. Rock our hands down. We're going to go to the left or the right with the twist. Then we're going to go the other direction. Get back to the center. And then roll all the way up. Going down flat. Forward fold. Go to the right. Go to the left. And then go back to the center. And come all the way up. We're going to do that one more time. So, flat back. Forward fold. Go to the right. Go to the left. Back to the center. And roll all the way up. And relax down. Okay, you're going to just bring one knee up this time. And just pull that knee, and we're going to hold this pose for just a few minutes. Try to flex that toe. You've been sitting all day, or point that toe. You've been standing all day, or if you've been doing a little bit of both, maybe you want to go up and down, making sure that foot is engaged. Make sure you just lock your knees. And relax down. Now we're going to switch to the other side. Make sure you get everything adjusted. Make sure you're not locking your knee. And down. And then relaxing out, stepping all the way up into triangle. Bringing our arms straight up. You may need to scoop your foot back a little bit. You're going to go down into flat back. Then you're going to go down into a forward fold. Turn that foot in. Walk around to the other side. Forward fold. Flat back. All the way up. Bringing those arms down to your waist. Come back into the center. Flat back. Forward fold. Walk over to the other side into the forward fold to the corner. Bring that foot out. Coming up into flat back. Coming all the way up. Bring the arms out to the side. Bring that foot in. Flat back. Bring your toes, hands to toes. Turn the other foot out. Walk over into forward fold. Flat back. And come up and back into the center. And relax. Bringing our arms, we're going to just turn. We're going to go into an angle. And just pull that stretch. Back to the center. Turn again. Back to the center. Then you're going to drop your right. Look up at your left. Back to the center. Drop your left. Look up to your right. Back to the center. Go into an angle. You're going to go to the twist. Back to the center. Twist. Back to the center. Dropping one arm, looking up at the other. Center. Drop one arm, looking back at the other. And center. Now we're going down into medium squat. Try to squeeze your chest back. Make sure your knees are not over your feet. Nice, good stretch. And if you want to, you can bring your hands up into prayer. Just relax them. Remember to be engaged in those hands, though. Breathing in and out. And then bringing those hands to the floor. We're just going to go into a nice low lunge to the side. Low lunge to the side. And then we're going to just bring our feet down into sitting position onto our knees. Sit up in hero pose. Bringing our arms out to the side. We're going to do eagle arms. If you need to sit in easy pose, if that's more comfortable. We are going to be here for a few minutes. So whatever's more comfortable to you. And then you're just going to wrap your arms around. Close your eyes. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing those shoulders to relax. Listen to the birds. Relaxing out. Switch to the other side. And relax out. You're going to bring one hand down and you look up at the other. Do a nice good side stretch. Make sure you turn that neck all the way up. So you're looking up at that. And then I want you to just move that hand all the way back, meaning bending the elbow if you need to. Watch that hand move with your head. Stretching all the way across your body. Nice and slow. As slow as possible. Moving the hand all the way across your body. Then down in front of you. Watching it and then place that hand down by your side. Then you're going to lift the other one up. Same thing, nice and slow. Looking up at that hand. Going all the way up. Very slowly moving your head with your hand as it goes across your body. Nice and slow. Watching it come down. Following your hand all the way down to your other side. And then again with the other hand. And we're just going to do this a few times because this is just a really good slowing down at the end of the day. Because you're going to go real slow. You're just going to feel like you're in Malasa. Like you're just going to slow down. Feel every bit of that stretch. Again, if it hurts, don't do it. When you get down with 2 cycles, you can place your hands back into the center. And slowly bring them up in front of you. Going into what would be considered a child pose, but with bent knees. Bent elbows. And then you're going to roll up and push back into a cat pose. And then go back down into the child pose, small. And then slowly coming up. And just think about vertebrae on top of vertebrae on top of vertebrae until you get onto your fingertips into cat pose. And then come back down. Nice and slow. You should feel this really good in your low back. Slowly coming up, vertebrae, vertebrae, vertebrae. Then roll onto your fingertips and push back into your shoulder blades into a cat pose. And then come back down. Nice and slow. Now we're going to do the same thing again, except this time we're going into a cow pose. So we're going to roll up nice and gently up onto our things, except this time we're not going to our fingerprints. We're going to go into our palm and then push into cow. And then come back down. My elbows, do they go this way or do they go that way? It just depends on how your elbows go. Mine go out. Yeah, mine are going out. Yeah. Yeah, my elbows are going out. And then down into cow. And then roll back up into cow. Yep, my elbows go out every time. Yep, your elbows have function. Yeah, but we don't have. The things you learn when you do yoga. We're all unique. That's why I like this, is just because it kind of slows down and you're not concentrating on the back of your legs. It's giving you a chance to really focus on like how the front of your body does into these different positions, and then into cow again. And you should be feeling really good in your shoulder blades. And then relax up into sitting. To bring in our hands to our knees, we're just going to take our chest and we're going to just roll back, pushing back into our chest, into cat again. And then this time, all the way into cow, bending our elbows. So we're doing the cat and cow basically, but without using our knees in the table. This is just cat and cow and sitting, just nice and gentle. And then relaxing, bringing our feet out from under us or out of easy pose. And we're going into butterfly. And we're just going to flap our wings for a few minutes. Close your eyes. Breathing in and breathing out. And then this time we're going to just place our hands on either side, not on our knees, but on either side of the inside of our knees. And we're going to just roll around in a nice kind of middle circle, just kind of rolling around real slow. You should feel it on your tailbone, cox area. Real low into that deep in that pelvic area, kind of teaching us how to sit correctly so that we're not rolling back, rolling forward, and then roll the other way. it up in those little bitty muscles. Make kind of feel it in your knees. And then relax into the center. Bringing our elbows down, and our feet, our hands on our feet. We're going to lean forward, and we're going to try to put our chin over our belly. Breathing in and breathing out. And then coming up. All right, bring our legs out to the side. Bring our feet, flex our feet. And we're just going to go to the toes if we can. Lifting our chest up, looking up over the floor. Kind of trying to straight out. Breathing in and out. And relax. So we're going to do the same thing that we did when we were on our knees with our hands. We're going to bring our hands to one side. And then we're going to just slowly as possible, looking up at our hand. Follow it all the way around, up over our head. Watching that hand go all the way down. Slowly as possible, try to keep it slow. And drop it to that toe. And then we're going to bring the other hand by looking at it. Nice and slow. Up over our head. Over to the other side. And then bring that hand back over. Again, nice and slow. Watching that hand with our head. Bringing it over to our toe. And bringing the other hand. Nice and slow. Back up. the chin again, resting on those. And bringing our hands into the center. Hold that. Once again, try to lift that chest up. Try to keep that chin up. Let's re-stretch. And then we're going to just slowly walk one hand over the other. Once again, nice and slow. Around to our foot. And both hands on top of each other. And then nice and slowly walk to the other side. Try to keep those hands right next to each other so you do it nice and slow. You want to feel that stretch all the way across so you can see how it's supposed to feel, because when you move really fast, a lot of times you're not stretching correctly. So sometimes it's good to slow down, feel where you feel the tightness, make sure you're doing it correctly, getting a good stretch, lubricating those joints, making sure everything feels good, nothing's hurting. And this time we're going to go back into the center. And then roll up. All right, bringing those knees in, because they probably need it. And we're just going to shake them out a little bit, and then we're going to roll up and see if we can balance, lifting our feet up off the ground. Hold this balance. And relax. Now we're going to switch over here. So we're going to go into stag pose. Sitting straight up, bringing our toes up. We're going to just slowly breathe in and breathe out. And once again, we're just going to walk our hands down to our toes, nice and slow. Remember to pop our chest out. Keep our head up, looking up over our toes, making sure that our toes are flexed. And we're just slowly walking down, stretching out our body with each breath, nice and slow. Then when you get to a spot, you're like, nope, I can't go any further. That's where you're going to hang out. And just breathe in that breath. Breathing in and breathing out. If you need to scoot back a little bit so it doesn't hurt, allow yourself to rest into it. And then if you can go a little further after you rest into the position, go further. And relax up. Bring your hands behind your back. Bring your feet down. You're just going to slide down and rest your head. And then bring your hands beside your hip and lay down so that your shoulders are on the back. Spread your feet out just a little so they're hip width apart. And we're going to go into bridge, rolling up from our pelvic, up into our back, into our shoulder blade, pressing it into the shoulders, and holding bridge pose. And then slowly roll down. And we're going to breathe. We're going to bring our hands up over our head with our breath, breathing in. Hands overhead, holding that. And then exhale, bring down. Breathe in. Breathe down. Breathe in. Breathe out. And just continue that breathing in and breathing out with your arms. Try to relax 3 seconds with your arms above your head. 3 seconds with your hands down below. Allow your body to rest. Last time, breathing in, breathing out. Now we're going to bring our hands out to the side. You're going to breathe in and hug yourself. And then exhale out. Switch arms, breathing in, hugging yourself. Exhale out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Once again, continue this breathing pattern and try to hold for 3 seconds. And now relaxing our arms out to the side, we're going to take our right hand, we're going to go over to our left knee, lifting our head up And then we're going to bring that hand all the way back out to the side, up a little bit, 45, and then turn your head back up. Bring the head up, lifting your head up, looking up at your knee, and then bringing it back out over your head, kind of in a 45-degree, and looking up at it. And we're just going to do that a few times. Breathing in, and breathing out. Again, try to hold each section for about 3 seconds. Allow that body to stretch into these different positions. And then relax that arm out to the side again. And now we're going to do the same thing with the left arm. Lifting it up, looking up at our knee, and then bringing it out to 45, looking down. And then relax out to the side. Now we're going to bring our knees up to our chest. And we're just going to let them roll side to side, not all the way to the floor, just kind of side to side, nice and relaxing. Just allowing them to slowly rock back and forth. Focusing on that low back. A nice triangle. And then we're going to just do a little circle rolling down onto the cocks and just do a nice circle. You should be kind of on your butt with your feet up off the ground, but your butt should be the one that's doing the twisting. You shouldn't be feeling it in your low back anymore. It should be in the butt. You're lifting your feet a little bit off the ground and stretching that butt area. This is good for abdominal too. If you want to lose weight, this is exercise. And then slowly bringing those knees back to your chest, lifting back up on your, we're going to do a nice big circle this time. Nice and slow, all the way down onto the pelvic, all the way around, making sure you roll really good on that low back. Feel it in the glutes. You should be using that gluteus maximum, feeling it all the way down into the cocks, all the way up onto the glutes, back onto the low back. Nice big circle. And go real slow. This is not speed racing, this is stretching. So we're just going real slow, as slow as we can. Stretching that body. Try to go like you're in Malasa again. Just nice and slow, feeling it every stretch, every direction. And then go the opposite way. Once again, nice and slow. And then bringing those knees back to the chest. We're going to lift those legs up into the sky. And we're just going to stretch, holding them up there. Bring our hands behind our knees. And then just rubbing your elbows if you can. And just do a nice, good, deep stretch up into that inner hamstring. And you're just going to pull that. Breathing in and out. And relax. Bringing the hands back out, bending your knees. You're going to drop your knees to one direction and then drop your head to the other direction. So we're just going to do a good all over twist. So we're going to lift our right, our left, whichever knees are on the floor. You're going to lift that hand up over your head. And then you're just going to look over to the other side so you get a good deep stretch. Bring that hand down, pulling the head back to the center, bringing the knees back up to the center, and then let them fall the other direction. Letting the head go the other direction, bring the other hand up and just relax into the position. Breathing in and out. And then bringing that hand down, bringing those feet back up. We're going to let them fall into bound angel. Just relaxing. Pose. If you want to, you can bring your arms up to your chest. Place one hand over your heart, the other one on your stomach. Closing your eyes. I want you to breathe in and breathe out. And I want you to focus on your head. Any tension that is in your forehead, around your eyes. I want you to breathe in, breathe out, and let that tension go. Focusing on the forehead, imagining your breath, putting a nice balm over it and just smoothing it out. Focusing on your eyes, allowing it to be massaged by your breath. Releasing the tension, melting away any of the sinuses that are clogging it up. Blowing through your nose, up under your cheekbones, into your temple, down into your jawbone, releasing any tension, imagining your breath as a ball, it's releasing all around the back of your ear, down to your frontal lobe, going up under your chin, down the throat, down the back of the neck, breathing all the way deep into your artistic, breathing all that stress on your neck to relax, breathing into your clavicles, down into your shoulder blade, allowing that all to relax with your breath. Down into your shoulder joints, into your armpit, and breathing in and out, releasing any tension and muscle, letting it all out with your breath. Down your arms, into your elbow, down into your forearm, into your wrist, down your thumb, into the web, down your neck finger, into the web, down into your head finger, into the web, down your neck finger, into the web, down your pinky, up into your palm, letting the breath lift everything away. Going back up into your shoulders, into your ribs, letting that breath relax all those tiny little fibers, moving all the way up and down to each rib bone, the first one, down into the organ, breathing into each organ, and most organs, breathing into the spine, and down each spinal cord, melting all the way to breathe down each joint until you get into the pelvic area. Breathing around, releasing any tension that you may have. Down into your legs, into your knees, wrapping around, releasing any tension into your knees. Now your hands, into your ankles, down into your palms of your feet, and going into each toe, starting with the big toe, in the breath, in your neck 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 toe, down the back into the center of your feet, releasing in stress, going into your ankles, up your legs, into your knees, up into your legs, further into your head, deep into the pelvic, up your spine, and finally into your heart. Breathing in around your body. And you can actually bring your knees up and relax into corpse pose as you release your breath. Breathing in and filling the breath, and filling your body, and enjoy your breath. Back into your body. Simply return. Pushing out and flexing. Punch and punch and punch. Slowly circle with your head. Nice and gentle. With your feet. And then relax your fingers and move them up and down. And circle your wrists. And then when you're ready, breathe in, do your big yawn, bring your hands up over your head, stretching your nice big yawn, and relax. Bring your knees up to your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug, and then just rock back and forth. And then when you're ready, you can just roll over to one side, and then slowly get up into sitting position. And then we're just going to roll our head around. And then lower the and then place our hands on our shoulders. A nice bit. And then the other way. And a nice twist. And then bring them into the center. Breathing up. Hands over your head. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Bring your hands into prayer. Now just. I needed that. That felt good. Yeah, I got a couple. Yeah. Namaste.